Hello lovelies, Ilia-Mae aka Inspire Liam here. In this video I'm going to show you lovies how to, and I do understand some of you already know how to do the first couple things, but I'm going to show you guys anyways. First things first, I'm going to show you guys how to submit a deviation and a literature. I'm going to show you how to favorite images. I'm going to show you how to set up the gallery folders as well as the favorite folders. And finally, I'm going to show you how to set up your home and the about sections of your profile. Before we go ahead and get started, I would like to just simply ask you lovies to do me one small favor when it comes to Eclipse. Breathe. Take a couple deep breaths in and let them out slowly. The reason why I ask this is because I totally understand where everyone is coming from regarding this new Eclipse layout. But never fear the new, always embrace it, even if it does have glitches. Alright, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? The first thing I'm actually going to show you guys what to do is, first and foremost, is how to submit a deviation. Now, I'm not going to be talking too much through the entire process. I'm going to try to be as slow/fast as I possibly can go, so it's easy to follow, but it's also quick enough to not make this video drag. So let's go ahead and submit some deviations. I'm going to honestly just submit some renders that I've made. I would like to simply ask somebody to ask you guys to not favorite or comment. If you do, they will go ignored. Please keep in mind the Inspire Lyrium 2 is mainly for the Eclipse videos that I will show you guys basically how to use, how to navigate, how to use it, basically, in my experience with Eclipse. So let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, let's submit a deviation. Now the deviation submission has actually changed. The submission rules and regulations, the terms of use hasn't changed. It's the submission process that has changed. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, the one thing I have noticed before I start uploading deviations is when you guys do if you are a veteran like me, have been on DeviantArt for quite some time, and you have already gallery folders set up, as you can tell, you can't set up folders. You have to add a deviation first before you can organize them in folders. So that's where the submission comes from. Okay? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and submit some deviations. I'm not going to talk through this too much through this process, but just for an example, you click, of course, choose to a file to upload. And again, yes, I do have a folder called BS. I'm going to go ahead and use some of my renders that I have. Yeah. Alright, so regarding tags are in replace of the category destinations from the old layout. So I definitely recommend using the tags that they have available. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter some tags. For the next two options, if you are inspired or if a pose was used and you want to reference it, this is how you reference. If you use a model, you can do model. If it's an object, you can do object or character. You can add up to 3. but it's not a mandatory thing to use this, but it is there just in case if you want to give credit where credit is due. That isn't an option in the description. The location, I would say the location is mainly for photography, but you are able to use that if you want to. Mature content. This little checkmark box actually frustrates me to no end. In the old layout, the mature filter used to be right under the image, where it was required to say either yes or no before submitting. Here it's just a checkmark box, and if you check it, you select where it needs to go, or you uncheck it and it automatically submits it. That's one of the things that's frustrating. Then, of course, you select a destination. Of course, it's only the feature that is available. Please don't mind this. Ignore that. And then publishing options, you have the option to select to allow comments or not allow them. The share buttons. The license is something only if I would say if you're okay, like I can't talk. If you are a resourcer, like you provide stock images or anything regarding stock, this is what you would actually use. Or if you want your images to be able to be used as well. There are some artists out there who do have the Creative Commons. The Creative Commons pretty much, when you click yes, it will allow you. You can say allow commercial uses for your work, or you don't have to, and then allow modifications to your work. In my personal opinion, if you don't like your your hard work to be edited, especially your art, then I don't recommend having that set up. And then go ahead. Again, as I've previously mentioned, the submission policy has not changed. The terms of service has not changed. You can choose to remember these settings if you wish, but that's pretty much the gist. After you went through all that process, go ahead and click submit, and it will submit a deviation. I'm going to go ahead and submit a few more renders just to kind of show you the process. I'm not going to talk. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and upload one more image. And this one actually is going to kind of be, it's going to be a fractal. I actually forgot the program that I used to make this, so bear with me for a moment. I know it's here somewhere. Found it. Alright, so that's submitting a deviation. The next thing I'm going to show you guys is how to submit a literature. Again, it is actually pretty self-explanatory, but I'm not going to talk too much through it. Just going to show you guys as slow, however, as quick as possible. So if you hear silence, it's just me doing my thing. Now, the neat thing about the whole submitting a literature, it actually does what the old layout did for the stash writer. It allows you to write it first, and then you have the opportunity to submit it to DeviantArt. So that's where this is coming from. Alright, and there you go. I have now officially added information to my, or added stuff to my gallery. So let's go ahead and refresh this, if my system would actually work. So as you can see, it also reveals the scraps, because I did put in 2 of my renders in scraps. So as you can tell, you see all of this. This is how you add gallery folders. Click on Edit, click on New Folder, and put in the folder title that you want to put in. Now, once you've added the folders that you want to add, click Done. Once it's done loading, you will not see it at the top. The reason for it is because there's nothing there. So you have to edit it. You have to edit. Now, there is a way that there's 2 ways you can actually do this. The long process is by clicking on a deviation, going to Edit, and going through this process. So you can either uncheck featured or leave it checked, and you can add it to whatever folder you want to do. You can notify your watchers if you want to, that's up to you guys. So click update and it will automatically put it in renders. And there is the folder. Now the quickest way to do it is by doing this. Click all. Actually, excuse me, click featured, click edit. And then what you want to do, or what you can do to make it a little bit easier and faster for you guys, is see where these three little dots, click that, copy to, or you can move it, whatever you want to do with it, and then just do what you would have normally done. Now here you can also delete the picture or deviation from the folder, from the featured folder. So definitely can go ahead and do that. And then all folders will be shown. See? So that's how you add folders. Favorites. There are two ways of adding favorites, and there are two ways of adding folders. I am going to use my primary account as an example. The quickest way to add favorites is just simply going to somebody's gallery and hovering over the image and clicking the star. This is legit the quickest way. The unfortunate thing is, the more often you do that, the system will automatically think you're spamming and it will stop you or tell you to wait a few seconds. So you definitely want to be careful with that. The next thing you can do, another way to add a favorite is by clicking on the image you want to add. You click on add favorites, and this little option will come up, and you can change the collection. How you can add a folder, this is probably the simplest way to add a new collection. Click on this little plus sign, click, and then give it a name. I will call it pretty. Click create, and once it's done loading, it will both be in featured and in pretty. Once you click done, the image will be there. So let's go ahead and refresh favorites, and there you see favorites. You see the all, featured, and pretty. Now if you want to add another folder and you want to do it the hard way, or do it a different way, you can. It's the same concept as the gallery. You have to go under collections though, click edit, and add a new collection. After you click done, it's the same thing. Once you add a new folder, it's not going to be there unless you actually put something in the folder. Again, there is two ways of doing that. The hardest way is by going, and the hardest and probably the stupidest way to do things is by going to the account or going to the image you want to add to the folder and unfavoriting it and then refavoriting it and then put it in there. However, the quickest and easiest is by making sure that the featured is selected. Click on edit, and then click on the little three dots and just either copy the deviation or move the deviation. So I'm going to go ahead and copy it to fairies. Now if I wanted to just move the deviation, then I would just go ahead and move it and it will be removed from the featured. But this is the quickest way of doing things, okay? I would highly recommend doing that. So in the feature, there's 4 deviations. In fairies, there's 3, and then of course in pretty, there's only 1. So this is how you add gallery folders, favorite folders, how you submit your images or deviations, and so forth. So let's go ahead and move on to the next option. Next thing I want to talk about, and this is actually kind of the last thing I want to actually talk about, is setting up your primary home and your about page. Now, the home part of the profile is pretty much your first impression. What do you want to display on your account? Before we get into it, the first thing you need to do is, of course, choose a title choose a title image. I call it title, it's actually a cover. Now, the covers, it is always going to be easier to make one versus using the images that are in your gallery. However, you can do that. So it needs to, if you're going to create a title image or a cover, you have to have it as 1600 width and 800 height. It will fit literally this little box area. Now, let's go ahead and see how images look when you add it from the gallery. So go ahead and go here, and you can choose whatever you want to use. I'm going to go ahead and select my gallery, my renders, and then I'm going to select my Galaxy Unicorn. As you can tell, when it's uploaded, it cuts off the image, because the render itself is not actually 1600 by 800. So it's going to cut things off. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and change it. Let's say I want to use fractals. Now, because this is just a fractal, it's actually going to fit it rather nicely. As you can tell, it's so pretty. I love fractals. This is actually one of the first fractals I created, and it is on my main account, I think. Let's move on. Anyways, title image. So you can go ahead and use an image like that. If you have a pattern, if you have a kind of like just a background wallpaper type image that you want to use, you can. Please keep in mind that the cover image is, this part of Eclipse is nothing like Facebook's add a cover. Facebook, you're allowed to move it around and kind of zoom in and zoom out, whereas Eclipse you can't. So it's pretty much set in stone. Another way that you can actually do a cover, I've created quite a few of my covers, and what I like to do, and this is just me, I like to add them to my stash. And I have talked about this in the previous video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few of my covers that I've created for my primary account, Inspire Illyrium, and I'm going to show you what I do. To select more than one image, hold down Control and just click. And then the images will load. Now, once you have a folder set up, you can actually change the title of it. You can put cover images, you can put title image, or you can just put Eclipse, which is what I normally do. If you want to add more to it, my recommendation would be to click on the folder and click upload files and do them separately, because if you do them all at once, what's going to happen is it's going to load another file. Okay, so just as an example, and that's enough for this part of the demonstration. So now, as you can see, I have about 5 images, title images, that I created that I can put as a title image. So let's go ahead and change this beautiful fractal into something else. So you click on Edit Cover. As you can tell, you can't see the stash folder, so you have to click on Stash, and you click on the folder, or you can upload it to Feature, whatever you want to put it in, and then you choose which one you want to use. Again, you cannot adjust it. They are specifically made for the title or cover. So I'm going to go ahead and use my centaur. Once you select it, it will have this little green box. You click select and it will upload. And that's what it looks like. Isn't she pretty? I love her. Now to choose an avatar. The avatar is pretty self-explanatory. You still have to have it as 15, either 15 KB or 15 MB. I can't remember. I'm sure it will pop up if I ever change it, or if I upload something that doesn't fit. But this is what you do. It hasn't changed. So I'm going to go ahead and do Dancing Meteor Shower Avatar. Come on, mouse. Thank you. It will load. You can adjust this. You can do eyes, you can make it smaller, or you can fit the entire thing. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do her design on her forehead. And then you click confirm, and there you go. So that you have now been able to set up your title image, set up your avatar, and not to mention you are able to upload deviations, set up your gallery folders for your gallery and your favorite folders. Cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the last and final aspect, and yes, I know we're working on it currently, the setting up your home page and about sections. I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry. It happens. Please don't mind me. It's late at night and I have to work tomorrow. So, yeah. Let's move on. Alright, so the about page is pretty much a default layout. When you first, as I previously mentioned in my first layout, first video, when you first toggle over to Eclipse and you are a veteran Deviant user, it will show up as all of this. This is what the primary layout looks like. However, the one thing that there is a difference between new users automatically set in Eclipse versus users who are already established out of Eclipse. The difference is, for new users, you have to add images. You have to follow the process I did to do the gallery folders or do the favorite folders. If you are a veteran like me and you've had your account for quite some time, then your folders will automatically be transferred and you don't have to worry about that. However, if you want to add a new folder, that's pretty much how you do it. Alright, so for me, I am the type of person that just likes to showcase my artwork. So this is what I normally do. I remove everything, except for the little about me portion, or the about Inspire Lyrium portion. So this is what I do. First, I will remove. What's nice about this type of setup in Eclipse is that you can bring everything back. So if you want the carousel, if you want everything, if you want your watchers, if you want the groups, you can have it. And this is pretty much what you would do to have it. And you can set up how you want it to be organized. So as an example, this is what I do. In order to add selection, at the very top, this is where you add the carousel. And this is completely up to you if you just want to showcase your artwork at the very top. You can do that. In fact, a lot of artists that I know does do what they do is they do the carousel, and it shows all their new artwork at the very top. And then what they do on for the left side, they use it mainly to show off the favorites, show watcher who they're watching, watchers watching, even show group admins, and that's pretty much all they have on the left side. On the right side, they would have the donation, posts, they would even have a custom box or comments. For me, however, that's not my bag. So this is what I like to do. Let's go ahead and delete all of these again. So for me, I like to add a section. I'm going to go ahead and add a spotlight, and I'm going to go ahead and add my fractal as the spotlight image. Then I'm going to go ahead and select a grid gallery, which will be my new artwork. And you can actually edit the settings. You can do latest deviations, feature gallery, a gallery folder, or you can do your favorites. If you do one of these three options, or this, actually it will just be this one, the latest deviations, you can change the title of it, which is cool. For the next thing I want to do is I want to showcase my favorites. So I'm going to go ahead and do a grid gallery, and it will show my favorites. But what I want to do is I want to do fairies, just because I like fairies. And this is how I would have my left side set up. For my right side, now I have noticed a lot of people using posts. Here's the thing, if you are going to put posts there on your homepage, I don't recommend it. The reason for it is because posts are literally right here under posts. This hasn't gone anywhere. You can still see the updates, you can still see the polls, you can see the journals. If you use this, you're just adding more information than needs to be added. So I don't recommend using this. For the donate, you can actually do the donation pool. You can edit it how you want to edit. And then you can go ahead and confirm, and then it will update. For the next section, this is completely up to you. Again, you can do the post, but I don't recommend it. It's the reason for I don't recommend it is because it's already on your page. You can access it just by clicking the tab that's at the top of the screen. For a custom box, you have the right to edit it. You can change the background, which is cool. I'm going to go ahead and choose the background to be black. You can edit in this particular box. You can add links to your other pages like Tumblr or whatever you want to do. You can add a little bit of additional information, like maybe a disclaimer. You can do an image spotlight. You can do a gallery spotlight. You can do add video from YouTube. You can do emojis, and you can even do GIFs. So as an example, I'm not going to type anything, but to add an image, you can either do it from your own gallery or you can do it from all of DeviantArt. You can search whatever you want to do. So because I like fairies, let's go ahead and use fairy. There is actually one image that I absolutely love, and that's this one. I use it every time I want to do a demonstration. So you would select it, and then you would click done. and then you added an image. If you want to change the title, just go ahead and click Edit, select on Custom, insert Spotlight, and click Save, and you've edited it. Now if you want to change the entire content, you can. All you have to do is just click Edit, Edit Content, and then you can change it. If you want to do an Add Gallery, you can. I don't recommend using the custom to add your own galleries, because you can add your own galleries to the left side. So go to, if you want to just do another spotlight, go to All DeviantArt, put in whatever, and then if you want to select more than one image, you just hold down the Control and click. For this particular demonstration, I'm just going to select 2 images. And as you can tell, 2 images are selected. This is the default. This is what I like to use. So when you add a spotlight or do something like this, it's going to add additional information to it. So you definitely have to delete that one image that you did. Click Done, and it will show up like that. Another thing you can do, like I mentioned before, click Edit Content, and you can go ahead and delete all of this. You can add a YouTube video, and let's say you want to see or showcase one of your own videos. For me, I'm going to showcase, my brain hurts. I'm going to go ahead and showcase my video I recently created for the DA navigation. So I'm going to go ahead and link. One moment. I didn't mean to play that. Sorry. I meant to share it. So if you guys actually want to check out my first video, cool. But this is pretty much what I would do. And it will automatically load. You can click Done, and then you can also change the title. Another thing that you can do is add a crap ton of emojis. You can do avatars. Well, apparently not. Look, little squishiness. Or what you can do is you can add a GIF. And there you go. So you can actually change the custom box any way you wish to. I think I have it. I don't remember. This is how my primary account looks. This is all I have. And yeah, I don't have the custom. But I showcase my art, I show my donation pool, I have my little blurb. That's about it. That's all I need. You guys do have the option to keep your comments if you want them. All you have to do is just add section and click on comments, and it'll be right there for you. Moving on to the About section. The About section is primarily for the account itself. It will show your about, it will show your statistics, who you are watching and who's watching. Excuse me, who is watching you, who you are watching, what groups you're an admin of, what groups you're a member of, badges, comments. For me, I only have the about and the group members and the badges. That's all I have. But you have the right to use it however you want. The statistics, you're not able to change the location. but anything else under it you can. So you can move this up or down, you can remove it, or you can even edit it. You can do the newest or you can do the oldest. For the group admins, you can edit it to newest or most members. For the members, you can edit it to the oldest or random. For badges, you can't really edit how they are set up, but you can either move it up or move it down. So if you want it to be your primary under your statistics, you can. So let's go ahead and move that up, and then it's right there. You can remove these boxes, you can keep them, it's up to you. But that's pretty much where how you would set up your about. Now, here's my little tidbits regarding the about section versus the home section. If under home you have your watchers, who is watching you and who you are watching, I don't recommend having it in the about section, because that is just duplicate information, and it does not need to be duplicate. Same goes for group admins or group members. If you want your group admins or members, watchers watching, I would recommend just leaving it under the about section and use the home to showcase your art and your favorites. That's it. Have your donation pool, have your about me, have your comments, but I would recommend just using it for you, for your home. That is actually the end of this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to comment. If you have any requests, definitely leave a comment and I'll see what I can do for you regarding the Eclipse tutorials. Again, this is the information that I've learned and how I use Eclipse. If you would like to contact me, you can do so by going to my primary account, which is InspireLyrium. You can email me at inspirelyrium@gmail.com. You can even add me to Discord. My Discord information is InspireLyrium #7645, and it is a capital I. What I do recommend, if you do happen to add me to Discord, please tell me who you are, so that way I will accept your. Once I accept it, I would like you to tell me who you are, so that way I will keep you. If you don't tell me, I won't keep you. Sorry, that's how I am. Anyways, if you want to see more content from me, definitely subscribe. Turn on your notifications. I am planning on going ahead and doing another video about the whole eclipse. My next video is pretty much going to be about me talking about my likes and dislikes for it, basically my opinion on Eclipse itself. What I'm also going to be working on is more speed art videos. I am so sorry I have not put out more content than I have. I am still working on it. I just recently had some issues going on with my life that is going to have a drastic change. So if you want to read more about it, you can go to my main page and check out my journals. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. Again, if you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. I really do appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing, commenting, liking, and just supporting me in my endeavors. I support you, I heart you, and be good.